Mi sembra ben comico quella incontrami, vediamo di chiede, e in questi che stai, or sappi che l'allora sul te stai una ora, e che t'ho preso, forse la sua, sì, nostra schiavo son dei mezzi tuoi, con detto sol tu puoi le mie pene consolare. Vieni e senti nel mio cuore il frequente palpitare. Con netto sol tu puoi le mie pene consolare.
What's up, everybody? And welcome to Nick at 9. My name is Nicholas Brownlee. I'm your host. This is an opera variety show. You didn't know you needed it, but golly, you did. Thank you for joining me. That was the Rigoletto Quartet with Elizar Rodriguez, Uliana Aletuk, and Jennifer, my wife, and me, and Rainer Armbrost, pianist. We recorded that a couple of days ago in our big rehearsal space here, and Elizar and Uliana are a couple, and Jen and I are a couple. So I've read the Rigoletto synopsis before. I know we were supposed to be on other sides, but you could see the partition in the middle of us when we were just going by the social distancing rules. But it was really, really fun. Also, I'm very aware that I'm very aware that cadence at the end got a little away from us. Things happen. We were rushing. We had to get out of the room. There was another rehearsal happening, which is what you see. You see somebody walking in behind us. Oh, my gosh. Sometimes the show must go on. You know what I mean? Anyways, that was so fun to sing with them. Obviously, making music again in any capacity just thrills me to no end. And so whatever you're able to do sort of legally and safely, I would highly recommend doing it. I know we're sort of all over this sort of karaoke style across the internet, across the world nonsense. I get it, but like, make the music. I'm telling you, you will feel better after. It is the ultimate balm. So I invest in that and do yourself a favor and do that. Anyways, okay. So, big Dr. Phil moment there, huh? He's a fraud. I hate him. It doesn't matter. So today, that was weird. So today is a huge day for me and a huge day for the show. And I'm so thrilled that we're finally down to the Fantastic Fock Final Four. How thrilling, huh? So basically, I started this Opera Madness, which is a March Madness style competition to find out who the best opera singer in the world is, all in good fun. And now we're finally down to one person from each Fock, and then we'll vote on that all next week, and then we get down to the championship, 1 versus 2, male versus female, for the crowning of the best singer in the world. Now, this has been so much fun for me, and I appreciate you guys sort of going down the hill with me, and we've gotten more and more responses each time and votes. I mean, we're into the multi-hundreds of people voting, which is crazy to me. So I appreciate that so much. So the way we'll do this is Jen will join me in the next segment, and we'll just break down each four, and we'll do a little bio of each one of the winners. So up first is our Vici d'Arte region, or the soprano region, and so basically I'll play this video, and you'll know who it is, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. So no surprise there on this winner. She is one of the greatest singers to ever walk the face of the earth, certainly in recorded history. So I hope you enjoy this. Stay tuned, because we're going to announce all four coming up now. Peace out. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoy the show. That's right, folks. Leontine Price, Miss Price, still is the winner. She's the best forever. She is the first to make it into the Fantastic Fock Four. What do you say about Leontine?
I don't know. I think she just said everything she needed to say.
I know.
She's like, tu, tu, tu. Like chest voice. She's floating. She's got top for days. Oh my God. I feel silly to even try to talk about how great Leontine Price is.
Right. So the idea of this was sort of to do like a reaction style video where we play picture in picture the video. And I was like, wait, Leontine needs the whole screen.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
So that is a video of her singing the Butterfly aria from a random concert, and that's an encore. So she sung a whole night. She's still singing like that. Huge shout out to Ken Benson for that video. He is directly responsible for that video being in my life and now in all of our lives. So
it's been in our lives a lot.
Yeah,
Nick plays that video all the time.
It's just so good.
It's so good. But I actually wanted him to play her with Bernstein conducting.
Sure.
The end, the very last floated
B flat
in the Verdi Requiem.
In the acapella section. Well, B flat. It sometimes is more like an A natural because the choir writes. It doesn't matter. But
she floats this note.
Yeah, but that's the thing too, and
it's like if God is talking to you, that's what it sounds like.
Sure, but that's the thing is you'll see we have to find like a 1 minute clip from each of these singers, which is ridiculous to put their whole opus. But that was Leontine, of course. Caballé goes down. Very sad, but she made it as an 8 seed to the final 2 sopranos, which is very impressive.
Which also might be explained by most of our voting audience probably being American.
Totally.
So, I mean, not like Montserrat Caballé is little known.
Right, for
only
sure.
Only famous in Europe.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you're talking about a mostly American voting base, and then, Leontine Price, she's from Laurel, Mississippi, like she is an American, I think maybe the most famous American soprano.
I said on the last show, I think she's the most famous soprano. I think she's by far and away the most famous American soprano, and for good reason, right?
Yeah.
Not just like for fun. Like she's the star, and of course she paved the way for African American singers. One of the first to sing consistently at the Met. From Laurel, Mississippi. I'm from Alabama, so I have a lot of secret Southern love for her as well. Just what else can you say about her? So with no further ado, I think it's time that we this is fun where we announce through the videos. Yeah, I'm having a good time. So with no further ado, we're gonna go to the winner of the mezzo round, which is very surprising. See if you know this person. We're gonna play that video now. So enjoy.
Okay, quick story.
Tell us.
When I was in undergrad and I was...
Wait, we should say this first. That was Marilyn Horne.
Oh, yeah.
Just in case you don't know, and you don't know her signature, and you don't know her cool
those
picture.
of you who don't
Marilyn
know.
Horne, 1976, Una voce poco fa at the Met. Anyways, Chen.
In the repertory that she was famous
She won the
for.
category, sorry.
Right. So Miss Horne won. And when I was in undergrad and I was auditioning with that aria, I heard this and I was like, I can do that too. And I brought it into a coach once and they were like, yeah, so you can't just literally directly take Marilyn Horne's ornaments.
Yes, you can.
I mean, you can.
Hey, why not?
I thought I was being like sneaky and no one would know or something.
Incredible.
Anyway, she's incredible.
She is incredible. What do you say? An 8 seed.
Yeah.
Winning the mezzo round, going into the Fantastic Fock 4. A little bit of an upset in terms of that, but like for me, like Krista Ludwig, we all know she's incredible, right? But how do you you think about Troyanus, you think about who were the other mezzos? Krista Ludwig, Grace Bunbury, Janet Baker. I mean, the mezzo was a rich category. Simeonato.
Pour one
out.
Pour one out.
First round, 1 versus 16.
But I think if you have to, I think what we're noticing too, again, another American coming through our voting audience, basically all American, I would guess. And she is wholly responsible, not wholly, but she is hugely responsible for this renaissance of bel canto and Baroque
she being Marilyn
music.
Horne.
Yeah,
totally.
And so I think maybe she gets associated with that repertoire, but we forget the breadth of repertoire that she did sing. I mean, if you type in any mezzo aria, you're probably going to find a Miss Horne recording of it.
Yeah.
And I think maybe people are reacting to that as
well.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think she is. And you're right to hit on the breadth of repertoire, which is what we talked about in the last thing when we were talking about her. Like, I think of her Verdi Requiems. I think of her crazy stuff. You know,
and I think of her
and she
ornaments.
Thinks she thinks of her ornaments that she's directly copying, borrowing.
Sneaky.
So I think that's really fascinating. And Marilyn Horne is our top mezzo. No arguments there. Be really hard to find an argument there. So good job, Miss Horne. Shout out. I hope you can get back to your grand tier position at the Met. And you can sit there and watch all of the singers sing and judge them, hopefully. Anyway, so what's next? Next is tenors.
Sure.
Yes. So next is the tenor round, and not really any surprise here, but this is my favorite video of this particular extraordinary singer. So I hope you enjoy.
In terra pito al suon della tua voce lungamente sognai e della terra ogni affanno ogni croce in quel giorno scordai. Torna, caro ideale, torna un istante a sorridermi ancora.
You know what I mean? Like, listen.
You can't be surprised.
No, it's not
no
even that.
No one's surprised.
It's not even that. It's not even that. It's not surprising. I'm of course not surprised. He sort of won the tenor category, but like I'm surprised by myself about how surprised how surprised I am every time I hear him sing. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And that I picked that particular piece because I remember I had a very visceral reaction to that piece. It was I was studying Ideal by Tosti, and I was studying it and learning it for a recital, and I was listening to all these singers sing it, and I was like, oh, that's okay. And this whole recital that he did for a German television station in '76, can you imagine? Is incredible, but it's particularly the Tosti pieces he does. It's like he's just saying the words to you.
There's something about his connection, obviously, to the Italian language, but also that style of music.
Yeah.
That it's just, it's like you almost, anybody else sounds like they're doing an impression of Pavarotti.
100%.
It's always what I think when I hear it. Like even Nessun Dorma, like it's one of the first things I ever heard was him singing it. And even now, I'm like, well, they're not Pavarotti, like.
Right, and
it's so unfair.
It is so unfair. No one wants to be judged that way.
Yeah.
But you know, you think about like the way he does that soft stuff. Let's just call it what it is. Like it's an open, unabductive chord making a flutter. It's weird. It's a weird thing he's doing. But when he does it,
You're losing me.
When,
I don't like this.
When he does it, when he does that softy off the body singing, it's so effective, and it's only effective because he's so on the body and singing so well all the time.
Do you know what's so interesting?
Yeah.
I don't think flutter. I don't hear that. I hear this genuine voice and this charm and this warmth of personality that envelops you as an audience member, as a listener.
Yeah.
And I find it more of his personality coming through
That's
than of
interesting.
a technical, like a trick that he is doing.
Sure, I think that's right and probably fair, but from a sheer
pedagogical.
Yeah, but from a sheer pedagogy standpoint, that's the way to get around that word. It is kind of a flood. Like, it's okay. But it's unbelievable. You're right. It's the connection that we respond to. It's the singing we respond to. Pav is Pav. It's that voice that you put on that you immediately recognize and you immediately know. No surprise there. Caruso, down. Corelli goes down. Wunderlich goes down. I mean, the voices that they're all number one in my book.
Right.
But
There's a hard category for you.
For me? Are you kidding
All your
me?
favorites.
Shikoff didn't even make it to the first round. What the? I can't even. All right. So Pav winning there, no big deal. And then finally, in the Il Lacerato Spirito region, the winner of the bass region comes as no surprise to me.
The low voice region.
The low voice region, the catch-all region. It comes as no surprise to me, so I hope you guys enjoy this video.
Più forte sapore la conquista violenta che il mellifluo consenso io di sospiri e di lattiginosi alberi poco m'appago non sottrarre accordi di chitarra né oroscopo di fior ne farlocchio di pesce o tu barca me tortora la cosa bramata perseguo me ne sazio e via la getto col tua nuova esca Dio creò diversi beltà e diversi io vo gustar quanto più posso dell'opera divina
No, bravo. Maybe not that open and screamy. It's much better.
If you hear that Scarpia and you're playing Tosca, you're like, I don't know, maybe it's fine. Maybe
Dog,
I'll
you're just like,
go
don't kill me. Don't
maybe
kill
I'll just
him.
go on one date with him. We'll just see how it goes.
That's such a like old joke. That's such a like old. It's like well, if the Scarpia looked like you, I'd never kill him. Like,
yeah, I'm here.
Thanks,
for that.
1960s rehearsal room at the Met.
Insult comic humor. That Don Rickles doing.
Oh, that's such an old. Diana Severiero is probably going to tell that joke at some point somewhere. Listen, that's George London.
I heard it from her.
That's George London singing Tosca. It's an incredible clip because you hear how beautiful, how achingly beautiful. Gorgeous. Yeah, forget.
I'm sorry.
Who's this Steve over here? I would be with Scarp. It's gorgeous. Like,
it is.
If you could just take on this energy all the time, it would be amazing.
It's not floating. It's this. He comes off of the maskiness, and he gives it that like.
It just gives it
color.
Well, yeah. At some point, regardless of what I just said about a flutter and someone and coming from a pedagogy standpoint, I think People have, hey, I've tried Alabama educated.
I could watch you do that all day.
Yeah, for sure. I think with George London, like, there's just blessed throats. Like, no doubt he had talent, and no doubt he worked his butt off, and no doubt he was a star, but, like, he was also just, like, really, really tall, and he had a really perfect face for singing, and he just had a throat that knew
exactly what to do with it. That's
100%.
That's how you get into the final four. You have to have that.
Try again. Fantastic Fock 4.
Fantastic Fock 4.
Yeah, for sure.
There's the throat, and then there's the work ethic, and the intelligence to know what to do with that throat.
Yeah.
Putting that work ethic behind it.
Yeah.
It has to be this like perfect storm of all of those things. And that's why we're YouTubing these people 50 years later.
Yeah, exactly. It's the marriage of both worlds. Like a teacher once told me, and this is good advice for anyone out there, like the more talented person, their talent can't show until they put in at least the equal amount of work as the less talented person. Right? So you have to, if your talent's here and someone's outworking you who's less talented, they can catch up. Right? And so that's what we see in all of these people on this list. And even the list before it is golden throats, no doubt about it, but they all had work ethic, to sort of finish up. As we move forward in this business, we look towards the past for inspiration and for guidance and but we also have to look towards the past with a critical eye. Right? We have to look towards the past. What made them shine? What made that moment so special?
Of course, you have to learn.
Right.
That's the whole idea.
And for me, it's so important that we never lose. I'm not one of these guys who's like, there's no good golden age singing. There's good singing in every opera house nowadays. But we need to get back, I think, to these sort of things that make opera so special. And it all starts with the voice, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. And so what you see in all these people is we're responding to their voice. They do the acting with the voice. They do the text.
How individual their voices are. You can
100%.
Listen to 1 second of any of these 4 singers, and you're like, know who that is, know who that is, know who that is.
100%. And you can only sound like yourself until you've gone through the gamut of sounding like every person. Because all we do, right? Because
especially in the beginning. Yeah.
Exactly. You're gonna try to sound like Bryn Terfel. You're gonna try to sound like this person. You're gonna try to sound like this person.
Sound like Miss Horn.
I'm gonna try to sing like George London and get notes, like whatever. That hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
But like you have to like fight to find your voice, your literal and figurative voice in this business. And
that's the whole point.
That's what all these people do. So now to finish up, next week we announce the final 2. The championship. So, of course, we have Marilyn Horne versus Leontine. Good luck. And then we have Pav versus George London.
The anxiety I am feeling. I don't know if I can.
Sure.
I might not be able to participate.
For sure. Well, I'm going to put all of these clips up onto the Google form, so you'll be able to rewatch them because they're clips that I think represent each voice the most appropriate. But by all means, vote for this fantastic Fock Final 4. It's tough. Anyways, thank you for joining us, you guys. Thank you for hanging in there. I'm always so happy to have my best friend and partner along for the ride in these crazy times.
I might not be here next week. I might have passed out. This is too hard, Nick.
Thank you all for you have voted, and I really appreciate your commitment to this. This has been so much fun for me, and this has been so much fun to see how you all feel and where all you're at in terms of aesthetic and voices and all this. It's really nerdy and wonderful. So anyways, thanks for hanging out with us for the last 18 minutes, and I hope you enjoy this. And we'll see you next week. Take it easy.
Bye.
Bye.